Did you know that every 31 seconds there's a drunk driving accident? And according to caraccident.com, fatalities are about 2%. As you may know, many things can happen in a drunk driving accident, and just from driving drunk. Today I'm going to talk to you about the consequences, mothers against drunk driving, and how drunk driving affects other people like Jacqueline. First, I'm going to tell you about the consequences of drunk driving. Even if you've only had a little bit to drink, any amount impairs your senses and your reflexes. If you get stopped by a police officer and you have an open container of alcohol, you will be fined $500. If you get pulled over for suspicion of drunk driving, chances are your blood alcohol level will be tested. If your BAC exceeds 0.08, you're in trouble. Your license could be suspended, and according to alcoholalert.com, your car could be impounded, sold, or even confiscated. Other consequences include jail time, court costs, you could lose your job, and chances are no one will hire you with a drunk driving offense on your record. But the worst possible consequence is killing another person. Now that we have talked about the consequences of drunk driving, let me tell you about an organization doing everything they can to fight the growing rate of drunk driving accidents. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MAD, a nonprofit organization, was founded by Candy Lightner after her daughter was killed by a drunk driver. Kari, her daughter, was walking in a bicycle lane on the street with her friends when the man hit her. When a police officer investigating the crime scene informed Candy Lightner that the man who had killed her daughter was out on bail from his fourth drunk driving offense, she decided to do something about it. She might not have anticipated how big this organization would grow, but MAD is supported nationwide with millions of volunteers and employees. MAD's most important project is to stop drunk driving, but since that is an extremely hard task, MAD has available services for victims of drunk driving accidents and their families. Their website, www.madd.org, has many resources from volunteering to information to help people deal with drunk driving accidents. The worst part of drunk driving accidents is the fact that you could be hurting someone else. Jacqueline was 20 years old when she was hit by a drunk driver. She was driving down to a carnival in Austin, Texas with 3 of her friends when an unsuspecting car driven by an 18-year-old drunk boy hit them, killing 2 of her friends. The car immediately caught on fire, pinning Jacqueline in the front seat. Although she lived and one of her friends was rescued, Jacqueline's skin melted to the seat and she was burnt on over 60% of her body. Her hands were so badly burnt, all of her fingers had to be amputated. She lost her nose, her left eyelid, her ears, and much of her vision. So far, she has had 50 operations and she has many more to go. According to helpjackie.com, the drunk driver, Reggie Steffi, was convicted of 2 counts of intoxicated manslaughter, sentenced to 7 years in prison, and he had to pay a fine of $20,000. Of course, none of the punishment equals to the pain and suffering Jacqueline had to go through. Now Jacqueline has had a cornea transplant and reconstructive surgery on her left eyelid, and her vision is completely restored in her left eyelid. She has to go to physical therapy to learn how to use her hands again without fingers. Even though she was part of a terrible accident, Jacqueline managed to complete her studies in English and graduate from college. And she is trying to put her life back together again. Since I have told you about the consequences, MAD, and what can happen to another person, I hope that you will think twice about driving and drinking. I also hope that you will stop anyone you see from drinking and driving, and think about what can happen if you or anyone else gets behind the wheel drunk.